Hi everyone, welcome to Spiral SciComm Presents. Today, we'll be discussing blue light. If you've ever played with a prism or looked at a rainbow, you've probably seen that white light is actually made of many different colors. That's because light travels in waves, and each color has its own unique wave size, called a wavelength. Here's a diagram of the electromagnetic spectrum, which is made up of these wavelengths. The portion that we can see is called visible light, and it includes all the colors from red to violet. When people talk about blue light, they're simply referring to the wavelengths in this blue section of the visible spectrum. When you look at the diagram, you can see that blue light waves are physically squished closer together. Since they're so tight and frequent, they carry more energy than the spread out wavelengths of red light, for example. Lately, blue light has been getting a lot of attention for its effects on human health. So today we're going to talk about why and answer the question, is blue light actually bad for you? So, is blue light bad for you? The answer is not necessarily. Blue light isn't inherently harmful. It's actually a normal and healthy part of the light we're exposed to every day, or our light diet. What really matters is how much blue light you're exposed to and when you're exposed to it. We'll talk more about why timing plays such an important role on the next few slides. First, it's important to note that blue light comes from many different sources. Let's look at a few examples by comparing their light spectra. To start, here's daylight. This white curve shows the spectrum of sunlight, and as you can see by this peak, there's a significant amount of blue light in this range. This is a natural light source, but many electric light sources also give off large amounts of blue light. For example, here's the spectrum from a cool white LED bulb, which is often used in offices, kitchens, and retail stores. Notice this strong peak in the blue region. This is because LEDs actually emit a lot of blue light. Now, if we switch to a smartphone display, we see a similar pattern. There's a clear peak in the blue range, meaning smartphones can also produce substantial blue light. Another example is a desktop monitor. It still has a small peak in the blue region, but compared to the smartphone or LED lamp, much more of its light is coming from other wavelengths. And finally, here's an incandescent bulb, which is a warm yellow color. As you can see, there's no pronounced peak in the blue region, so it gives off very little blue light. So, it's clear that blue light comes from many sources, but you may still be wondering why it's signaled out in light messaging. Well, this has to do with how blue light interacts with our internal body clocks. When light enters the eye, that information is sent to your main brain clock, which then sends signals to the rest of the body. Recently, scientists discovered a special light-sensing protein in the eyes called melanopsin. It plays a major role in this process by acting as a brightness detector, sending signals to the brain to keep our internal clocks on time. Let's explore this more by looking at a diagram of the human eye. At the back is the retina, which is the tissue responsible for detecting and sending signals to the brain. Within certain retinal cells are several types of light-sensing proteins, shown here in blue. If we zoom in, this is an example of what the melanopsin protein looks like. Now let's look at a graph, where you can see the sensitivity curves of different photoreceptors. As you can see, melanopsin's curve, which is represented by this black line, peaks right in the blue portion of the spectrum, meaning it's very sensitive to blue light. This is important because it means blue light is especially effective at activating the pathways that control our circadian rhythms, which have implications for the release of hormones and sleep. However, it's important to note that melanopsin isn't only sensitive to blue light. Even though its peak is in the blue region, the sensitivity curve extends on both sides. That means other wavelengths, like those slightly above or below the blue range, can still activate melanopsin. They just wouldn't affect it to the same extent that blue light would. So, putting all of this together, blue light gets signaled out because many modern devices have screens that give off a lot of it. Melanopsin is sensitive to blue light and is also important for signaling to our brain and body clocks. This means that blue light exposure during the daytime interacts with melanopsin and sends signals to our brain clock that help keep us awake. However, bright blue light exposure in the evening or at night caused by screens makes melanopsin send the wrong signal. The signal makes your brain think it's still daytime, delaying the release of melatonin, which is the hormone that helps you fall asleep. But don't worry, there are several things you can do to help prevent this and support both your body clocks and healthy sleep. One thing you can do is program your screen-based devices, such as your cell phone or your computer, to automatically change to night mode or night shift mode at a certain time of day. Unlike dark mode, which only changes the background color of your phone from white to black, night mode or night shift mode reduces the light emitted from your screen by making it appear warmer in color. So, if you program night shift mode to turn on at sunset or at least a few hours before your desired bedtime, and lower your screen brightness, you can reduce your light exposure from your screen-based devices and potentially improve your sleep. Another helpful tool that you can use is blue light blocking glasses. However, there are a few things that you should consider before purchasing a pair. Clear blue light glasses can offer mild daytime filtering that may reduce digital eye strain, but they don't significantly impact sleep. In contrast, orange lenses provide strong, near total blue light blocking, making them far more effective for evening use. These darker lenses filter out blue wavelengths that disrupt melatonin production, helping support your natural sleep-wake cycle. Generally speaking, you should avoid wearing orange blue blocking glasses during the morning or daytime, since this is when natural blue light from the sun helps regulate alertness. The most appropriate time to use blue blocking glasses is at night or a few hours before bedtime to prevent blue light from disrupting your sleep. Something else to keep in mind is that using blue light glasses is not a substitute for a healthy light diet. It's still a good idea to try and follow natural light patterns, which means getting bright light upon waking and during the active part of your day, and dimmer light towards the end of your day. In summary, blue light is neither inherently good nor bad. It depends on timing and context. During the day, blue light is a normal and healthy part of your light diet and plays an important role in regulating your body clocks. At night, however, exposure to blue light, like through screens, can interfere with sleep, so it's generally best to limit it before bed. Additionally, avoiding or blocking blue light is not a substitute for healthy light exposure during the day. Supporting your circadian rhythm means getting regular natural daylight, whether by going outside or sitting near a window during the day. Moreover, if you choose to use blue blocking glasses in the evening, look for orange tinted lenses rather than clear lenses, which are most suited for daytime eye strain. There are some exceptions to these recommendations. For example, shift workers should adjust these timings to accommodate their wake cycles. Additionally, those with certain medical conditions or individuals that wear blue blocking glasses to alleviate eye strain, headaches, or migraines should prioritize symptom relief. Thank you for watching. I hope this presentation helped you learn more about blue light and why it's important. If you're looking for more information on any of the topics discussed in this video, we've included some references here, as well as a few helpful links in the video description. We'll see you next time!